Hey everyone, it's the Angry Honey Badger, and it's time for us to take a look at another champion build video. Today I'm playing as Vayne in the bottom lane as an AD carry. I started playing this role a lot more lately because of the ranked team that me and my friends have kind of decided to take a look at trying out this season. So I'm going to be our AD carry for the most part, so maybe some AD carry builds are going to be happening. And I used to play lots of AD carry, so playing some more again. Right off the bat, we saw Soraka go out to ward, so we were kind of negating her from coming back into lane. We're going to be able to pick up a quick, easy first blood. She tries to keep coming back towards us, and we were going to make her go around, and once she decided not to, we just ran over and picked up a quick kill, which is definitely going to help me out early, picking up that first blood. So if you see them get a little bit separated from their AD carry, you can kind of push them and force them not to come back that way. She should have ran away and gone around the long way, but she decided that she was not going to, and then after we committed to fighting her, there wasn't really much of a chance that she was going to get away for a few reasons. One of them being my passive with Vayne, which is my Night Hunter. If you don't know about it, when you start to run at enemy champions, you gain 30 movement speed. It's very nice for chasing. You're going to be able to catch up to them very well and be able to get a lot of damage off for lots of good reasons with your abilities. So there's going to be a lot of chasing when you need to with Vayne, and it's going to work fairly well. And we'll go over more of this as this game progresses. But typically at level 1, I do actually start with a Doran's Blade if I have a healing support with me. If I do not, I will usually go with Boots and Pots to be safer and to have a way to get some health back. But since I do have my Sona with me, I'm able to heal up that way, and I don't need to really worry about that. And as for just not having that move speed early on, I don't really have to worry about that too much. There I went in and tried to pick up a quick kill on the Soraka, but she must have barely healed herself. And that's going to happen, obviously. But that's okay. I'm still farming quite well. I have a lot of gold. I'm going to keep farming because I don't need to go back. So I can keep gaining levels this way and keep working on last hitting. So now I'm going to finally head back. And for my first trip back, I do typically try to pick up my boots and a Zeal. Zeal's going to be very helpful, especially with my W ability, which is her Silver Bolts. And now, Silver Bolts, if you pay attention slightly, I mean, it's a little tougher in fast forward mode, but as you can see when I last hit, there's little circle rings around the enemy, and if I get off 3 in a row on one target, what that's going to do is it's then going to deal bonus true damage based on a percentage of their max health. So, that's typically the very first thing I like to max out, and I do like to take it at level 1 in case I get into a level 1 fight. I can standard attack them to death and get that bonus true damage off, so it's very helpful. Some people do like to take her Q ability first, which is her tumble. That's not a bad idea either. Here you can see those bolts going around. Malphite, I'm going to do all that true damage to him, and since he does usually get a little bit of health, this is going to deal extra damage to him. I'm going to be able to tumble one more time in here and deal some more damage to him to pick up a kill. I'm going to start to go for the Kog'Maw now. I am going to take a tower hit, so I'll back off, but that true damage from those silver bolts are going to do a lot to enemies the later the game goes on, and the reason why I do pick up that attack speed is because I'll be able to get off that true damage and those bolts will keep stacking faster. So we're kind of, I don't want to say relying on those to deal our most of our damage, but it's a good thing to focus on with Vayne. So getting attack speed with Vayne is kind of a must and a great thing to do. As for this time going back to base, I'm going to finish off my boots so I have some more movement speed. I do go with boots 3, even better for chasing and moving around in team fights because we're just going for this whole movement speed, attack speedy, still getting damage too, but we're going to be moving around fights quick and we're going to be doing lots of damage, moving in and out, poking champions when we can, and dealing the damage that we can do. Now here, I'm going to use my E ability to knock Soraka back into the wall. Don't know why the Sona apparently just didn't work on her, but it's okay. Now what my E ability is my Condemn, and what that's going to do is whenever I hit an enemy champion with it, it's going to knock them back. If it knocks them back into terrain or to something, it's going to stun them for 1.5 seconds, and it's going to deal bonus damage apart from the damage it already does when it knocks them back. So what I try to do is tumble to get even with them. I try to then use my Condemn to knock them into the wall. And you don't really have to worry about ever activating your W, which is your silver bolts, because that's just a passive. So that's always happening. As you can see, if you're looking at it, just spinning the little thing around it, that's a passive. So you only have to really worry about her tumble and her Condemn. Once you kind of master how to, you know, condemn people into walls and then tumble at them, the only other thing you really have to worry about is your ultimate, which is her final hour. And her final hour, what that does when you activate it is it grants you attack damage, and then you get a stealth for 1 second when you have it activated and you use your tumble. So what that's going to do is make you invisible for that 1 second, which makes you tricky to find in fights when team fights break out. Here Soraka's using everything she has to try to heal herself. I'm going to be able to roll in here and get one more hit off on her because of that whole bonus movement speed when I do chase. There, I'm not going to be able to kill the Kog'Maw because I'm taking that tower, so Sona is going to pick it up for me real quick, and she'll pick up the kill, which is fine. I couldn't stand under that tower any longer. I was going to give them a kill that way. So Sona's going to pick up that kill for me real quick, and we're going to go ahead and push this tower down. Also, that other time when I was back at base, I did pick up a Vampiric Scepter that's going to help me while laning, and it's going to go towards my first real big item, you could say. There I'm going to pick up a BF Sword. I'm going to be building that Vampiric Scepter and that BF Sword into a Bloodthirster. It's going to give me a lot of damage early game, especially if I get the stacks up, if I'm farming well, which this game I am farming. I'm farming alright for the most part. So that's going to definitely help when I do get that Bloodthirster finished off. It's going to give me sustain, and I still have that attack damage working for me, as you can see with the Zeal, and we'll be finishing that off as well. So we're going to be dealing damage with our Silver Bolts, and just our Tumble's going to get bonus damage on it because it does stack some attack damage on it. When you do spin, your next attack does deal bonus damage, and then our Condemn's going to deal extra damage, and we're going to be getting damage from our final hour. So you don't have to build an Infinity Edge right away on Vayne. It's not necessary. There, Sona's actually going to move and pick up an easy kill up on Soraka. She didn't have a lot of life. Then I'm going to move over to the Kog'Maw and pick up a kill on him. Unfortunately, the juking did not really work there, but I'm still going to be able to live and teleport out of here just fine. And that's what we're going to do for there. As you can see, I did just finish off that Bloodthirster, so I am getting a lot of damage that way, and I can start to stack the kills on it for me. And that's going to be great. Here we are getting into, I think, a little bit of fight going on over there, but I don't need to move over there. Hoyt's doing a good job at murdering him. So we're going to go ahead and keep pushing and keep farming because that's what AD carries do best and need to do. And then when you get to a team fight and you have all your items because you farmed well, that's going to always be helpful. Here, I am going to use my flash to get through this wall to help out my team. Come try to help them pick up a kill on the Kog'Maw. I know they were doing good at killing Soraka. There you can see the Silver Bolts explode on Kog'Maw and deal a lot of damage, as you can see. Like I said, I maxed that out first, so I get the maximum percentage of true damage dealt to them, which when it's maxed out at level 5, it deals 8% true damage based on their max health. So on tanks, it's great to it's a great way to get them to lose a lot of their life rather quickly, but you know, you still got to be careful, obviously, with that. Like I said, though, if you want to take your tumble first at level 1 to kind of have that tumble to be able to get away from things or to kind of roll towards them, because it does kind of move you quick forward to them and back away from them quick, you can always do that. So that's something to remember as well. We're pushing really well in this game. I have a decent amount of attack damage as things sit right now, and a decent amount of attack speed with that Zeal. It's going to be helpful. So all these things are going to help pair up. I can go back 2 right now if I need to, but I'm going to go ahead and try to clear out their jungle whenever I can, steal their buffs if they're not paying attention, like right now. Go ahead and steal their red buff and head back to base. Leave one of their minions up so their red does not respawn for them as well. Don't forget to leave one minion behind. Now that I'm back at base, I'm going to keep finishing off or going towards that Phantom Dancer, pick up more attack speed, because like I said, that Silver Bolts is going to deal a lot of good damage for me. And it's quite easy for farming with it as well, too, because all you got to do is shoot something 3 times and you basically pick up the easy kill. So that's what we can do with that. So as for your ultimate, in case you don't know about it, and like I was saying, it does grant you all those bonuses. You do gain that bonus movement speed too. Here I'm just going to kill the dragon because I can do that completely fine with a Bloodthirster. It lasts for only a certain amount of time. It's not up for a really long time, but you got about 10 to 12 seconds on it depending on what level it's at. So you got to remember that. As for my masteries that I do typically build or use when I am playing Vayne, usually go with the standard 2190 for the most part. Sometimes I'll go with a weird 27.3, but for the most part we go with 21.9. And then as for my runes, usually like to go with either attack damage marks or attack speed marks, which are going to be obviously helpful. Like I said, we're getting off that true damage with those Silver Bolts. That's kind of her main kind of little specialty for Vayne. That's going to deal a lot of damage. So you can go with attack speed marks, armor seals, magic resist per level glyphs, and then attack damage quintessences to get a little bit more attack damage early on in the game. I like having a little bit more than the enemy AD carry, because then if you get in a 1v1, you can usually always win it. Here we have Soraka come back to base. I think we're just going to hit her a couple times and murder her. Doesn't take much. We did finish off the Phantom Dancer that last time I was back at base, and I did pick up another Zeal because a little bit more damage is never a bad thing. After that Zeal, I'm actually going to start building my Infinity Edge, and then finish off into a Guardian Angel, and then that Zeal into another Phantom Dancer. It's going to give me a lot of damage, some survivability. But guys, that's going to be a quick Vayne build. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Other than that, I guess I'll just see all of you in the next build video.